92, Willie Nelson has outlived trends, critics, presidents, record labels, and more than a few doctors' predictions. He's buried friends, bandmates, heroes. He's written songs about angels, outlaws, heartbreak, forgiveness, and that long stretch of highway between here and wherever we're headed next. So when a man like that starts talking about his own funeral, people lean in. Not because it's morbid, because it's Willie. And Willie Nelson has never said anything the safe way, if he could say it, the honest way instead. Willie Nelson was born in Abbott, Texas, during the Great Depression, when survival itself was an accomplishment. He grew up picking cotton under a punishing sun, watching adults fight through hard seasons with quiet dignity. He learned early that life doesn't promise comfort. It promises work. Music wasn't a dream back then. It was an exit. His grandparents raised him after his parents split. They gave him a guitar before they gave him advice. That instrument became his compass. While other kids imagined escape, Willie practiced it. While other boys bragged about touchdowns, he learned chords in a tiny house where newspapers were pasted on the walls to keep out the cold. Loss came early, so did grit. And grit, more than anything, became the through line of his life. That's why when Willie talks about how he wants his story to close, it doesn't sound theatrical. It sounds considered. He's had 92 years to think about it. Nashville once tried to sand the edges off him. They wanted shorter hair, cleaner suits, neater phrasing. For a while, he played along. He wrote hits for other people, big ones, songs that traveled further than he did at the time. Crazy. Hello Walls, songs that made other singers stars. But something about the Polish never sat right. When he finally walked away and went back to Texas in the early 70s, it wasn't a career move. It was survival. He needed air. He needed dust. He needed music that felt like it came from somewhere real. That rebellion helped spark what would become outlaw country, alongside artists like Waylon Jennings. It wasn't about breaking rules for attention. It was about refusing to pretend. And that refusal, to pretend, has never left him. Not in his songs, not in his politics, not in his friendships, and not apparently in his funeral plans. At 92, Willie still tours when his body allows it. He survived collapsed lungs, emphysema, carpal tunnel surgery, and a frightening bout of COVID that left even his closest circle holding their breath. There were nights when he couldn't breathe, nights when shows were cut short, nights when people quietly wondered if that was the last time. But he kept coming back, not because he's chasing applause, because singing is how he stays alive. That's the difference with Willie. For some artists, the stage is a spotlight. For him, it's oxygen, which is why, when he started speaking candidly about his funeral, he didn't treat it like a dramatic reveal. He treated it like housekeeping, just a few boundaries, a little clarity, nothing personal, unless it needs to be. If you ask Willie what he wants at his funeral, the answer isn't extravagant. He doesn't want a parade of celebrities. He doesn't want spectacle. He doesn't want cameras hovering over mourners' shoulders. He wants it to feel like him. Simple, honest, unvarnished. And that means not everyone makes the list. One of the names that surprised people was Garth Brooks. Now, Willie has never questioned Garth's success. You can't. The numbers speak for themselves. Stadium tours, record-breaking albums, a showman in every sense. But that's just it. A showman. Willie comes from a different cloth. His voice cracks. His guitar drifts behind the beat. He doesn't chase perfection. He chases feeling. To him, country music is dirt under your fingernails. It's heartbreak that lingers. It's a barstool confession at closing time. Polished performance is fine, but it's never the same as truth. For his final goodbye, Willie doesn't want production value. He wants presence. Then there's Kid Rock. It's not about music, it's about energy. Kid Rock commands attention with volume, politics, personality. But Willie doesn't see his funeral as a stage. He sees it as a pause, a place for stories told softly, guitars passed around without amplification, air thick with memory, not ego. He doesn't want his final chapter overshadowed by someone else's noise. It's not insult, it's a boundary. At 92, Willie knows their value. Jane Fonda's name raised eyebrows too. It's not about talent or activism. Willie has always marched to his own rhythm, quietly supporting causes without fanfare. He respects passion, but a funeral isn't a performance. Their worlds crossed, but they never fully intertwined. And when it comes to something as intimate as a funeral, Willie doesn't want unresolved tension humming beneath the surface. He wants ease. He wants people who knew him, not just the icon, but the man who wakes up early on his ranch and still picks up that battered guitar like it's the first time. Then there's Ted Turner, a titan in his own right, a builder of empires, a man comfortable in boardrooms and headlines. But Willie has always felt most himself in smaller rooms. He might sell out arenas, but his spirit still belongs to Abbott, Texas, to front porches and back roads, to neighbors who wave without needing a reason. He doesn't want his farewell to feel like a summit meeting. He wants it to feel like home. And sometimes that means recognizing that admiration isn't the same as intimacy. It would be easy to frame all this as grudges, as an aging legend calling people out one last time. But that misses the point. Willie isn't angry. He's selective. There's a difference. When you've lived 9 decades, you realize something. Time is the only real currency. And where you spend it, and who you spend it with, matters more than applause ever did. A funeral, in his mind, isn't a networking event. It isn't a tribute show. It isn't a red carpet draped in black. It's a circle, and circles are smaller than crowds. He's joked about running back into a burning house to save his marijuana stash. He's admitted when his lungs nearly gave out from decades of smoking. He's talked about sleeping in ditches, riding freight trains, getting things wrong before he got them right. He's never pretended to be spotless. That honesty built trust. So when he draws a line about who he wants, or doesn't want, at his funeral, it doesn't feel theatrical. It feels consistent. He has spent 70+ years refusing to fake it. Why would he start at the end? If Willie has his way, there won't be flashing lights. There won't be oversized egos delivering rehearsed speeches. There will be music, sure, probably a little off-tempo. Maybe someone forgets a lyric and laughs. Maybe someone cries halfway through a verse. That's fine. He doesn't want perfection. He wants the people who stood beside him when the tours were grueling and the money was thin. The ones who knew him before the braids were iconic. The ones who saw him as a father, a friend, a stubborn old soul who never quite fit into the industry machine. He wants the room to feel like a Sunday afternoon in Texas, not a televised event. If you loved learning about the iconic stars of old Hollywood, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories, trivia, and all things vintage glam. Join the conversation in the comments below. Who's your favorite old Hollywood celebrity and why? Make sure to ring the bell so you never miss a new video on the golden era of cinema.